All right. Good afternoon, sophomores. Welcome to our new unit. This is our survival unit. I've had a lot of fun with this unit in the past, and I know my students have too. There's a lot of interactive work. Some of it, sadly, I'll have to modify, but we're going to try and make the most of it. So I want to remind everyone where our Google Drive is, right? So we click on our drive, that triangle for Google. And I have a lot of stuff in here, but you will see this is our 4XY English 10 shared folder. And if we open that, everything we have done and everything that we are doing can be found in this folder. So go ahead, if you haven't already, let's access that. So as you can see, things have been shifted and added. So up here, this was the time we did that unit on claims and letters. This was our most recent, Frank vs. Eddie. And this is our current. So today we are going to take some notes, right? Our agenda talks about taking notes and that discussion board completion. So go ahead, let's get all comfortable. Isn't that picture so cool? So again, get comfy. You're welcome to take notes in a Google Doc. You're welcome to take handwritten notes. Okay, it does not matter. So I've done this unit for the last 2 or 3 years, and we always have the opportunity of doing a virtual tour of Everest. Obviously, we will not be in the Submersion Lab this school year. I'm very sad that you all won't get to experience this with us, but it's a lot of fun. We're going to try our best to work through it with videos and other things from home, but I know it's not the same. But there's a picture you can see. Mr. Diggs, Mr. Benjamin Diggs and I used to work together on this. And there's some more pictures. This unit, it focuses on a lot, but the main thing is as we explore Everest, Mount Everest. We also meet some other funky characters, some writers, some authors, some extreme hikers, and some daredevils. And that's my Lego dude. I've always liked him. Okay, so let's get down to business. Here is our unit overview. So this is everything I want us to accomplish, and we will accomplish in this unit in our time together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to read and explore Everest. It's a short story by Erik Weihenmayer. The next thing we're going to read a short article and watch an interview based on Sherpa. It's an ethnic group. It's a culture. It's a way of life. We will virtually tour Everest. I'm going to try my best to get it to you in our homes. We also have to read and annotate an excerpt, so another small piece from the book Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. And you're going to see Jon Krakauer's name a lot. We are then going to analyze the case study and timeline from that excerpt. We have a writing exercise. The Lost at Sea simulation has been grayed out. I'm very sad to say. That's a simulation I've done in the past with water and lightning, and we're on top of our desks in school. And I'm totally bummed. I don't know how to recreate that from our homes, but I'm thinking. We will then investigate some Lost at Sea survival stories. And our final project, we won't have an essay for this, but we will have a project on the qualities of a survivor. And you can make an infographic or a Google slideshow. And then we will have a chance to watch the movie, and I'll get it to you just like I got Edward Scissorhands to you, Into the Wild. And it's based on a book by, again, Jon Krakauer. So the first thing we're going to do, as always, whenever we start a new unit, is we're going to take our notes. Okay. We're going to take some notes. The notes in white are brand new. You may recall point of view. We talked about it briefly with the Frankenstein excerpt. We are taking notes. The notes in blue at the bottom, you should have mastered from the last unit. Here we go. Please write this down, cause and effect. And what is cause and effect? Remember, if I go too fast, just pause the video. Cause and effect is simply an action with a reaction. If I do this, then this will happen. So when an event occurs, its effect impacts the course of the story. It changes the character or later events of the story. Simply put, it's an action with a reaction. And there's my example right there. Cause and effect. Don't walk on thin ice. What's the effect? You're going to fall. And here's some charts. You might have seen some of these charts from years past when you've studied cause and effect. Usually first, then. So the next is point of view, and point of view is it's a pretty loaded term. It's a pretty loaded skill. Point of view. And the narrator. The point of view of the narrator could change, but I want to remind us what a narrator is. It's the person who tells the story. It's the person who recounts the events of a story. And then we have first person point of view. And this is going to be the narrator's perspective. And we know that from pronouns like I and me. So remember, this one is a lot, and I understand that. Maybe I will make this gray. There we go. So third person limited is the narrator only knows the thoughts and feelings of one character. They are limited to one character's perspective. All the other characters are described using pronouns they, he, she. So it's limited to that one person. And then I know we know what about omniscient. The narrator is all-knowing. Conflict. Now we know about some conflict. There's some conflicts going on in the world right now. There's some conflicts going on maybe in our homes, maybe in our minds. Conflict is a life skill to understand. Of course, there's two. We have internal conflict and external conflict. Internal conflict, man versus self. Make sure we're taking these notes. Man versus self. That image right there of a man alone in a boat, right? Looks like he survived a fire or he survived almost drowning. But now he is plagued with internal conflict. What to do? We then have external conflict. So anything that's not occurring inside of us, right? That's not happening in our brains or in our bodies. And it could be us versus someone else, right? Man versus man. It could be man versus nature, which is the majority of our units will focus on external conflict, man versus nature. We also have man versus society, which again, in our community, in our nation, we are being plagued with this external conflict of man versus society. So make sure you're getting these notes. And these last 4, I want you to write them down again, please. I want you to write them down again. They are a review. Theme, the overall message. Really proud of the work in some of y'all's papers with theme. Characterization. We have tone and we have mood. So these are our previously should have been mastered skills. They are going to be seen. You will be again assessed based on these 4 skills in this unit. So we're going to stop right here. And please return to Canvas, the discussion board for today's assignment. And I'm going to be asking you to submit today's assignment for a grade. Okay, what does it mean to survive? And what have you survived in your life? So stopping it right here and going back to your Canvas discussion board for today.